What if your twin isn't who you think? What if my twin isn't identical? My brother and I were twins, born 2 minutes apart, always mirror images. We took a DNA test for fun. It was supposed to confirm what we knew. We were wrong. My results showed a rare genetic mutation I'd never heard of. But my brother's results were normal. The mutation wasn't there. The room went cold. I called the company. They told me what I was describing was impossible. Identical twins share 100% of the same DNA. No exceptions. None. I confronted my mom. She claimed the lab made a mistake or the test was a scam. But my dad didn't look surprised. He just stood there with a strange expression. He didn't mention the DNA. He just asked, which hospital handled the test?
Part 2. The Hospital Records. My dad's question hung in the air like a lead weight. My mom's face went from defensive to pale in a heartbeat. She tried to laugh it off, saying, "Does it matter?" "St. Jude's, like we always told you." But my dad didn't look at her. He kept his eyes locked on mine. "Go check your birth certificates," he said quietly. "They're in the safe." I didn't wait. My brother Leo followed me, both of us silent. We'd always been the mirror twins. If I moved my left hand, he'd move his right. We were identical in every way until these results. The discrepancy. We found the folder. 2 certificates, both from St. Jude's, both signed by the same doctor. But then I saw it. My certificate standard security paper, embossed seal, dated June 12th. Leo's certificate. The font was slightly thinner. The seal felt flat. The weight, I was born at 6 lbs 4 Oz. Leo was recorded at 6 lbs 4 Oz. Exactly. "Leo," I whispered. "Look at the time of birth." Me, 11:58 p.m. Leo, 12:00 a.m. 2 minutes apart, just like we'd been told. But the date on mine was June 12th, and his was June 13th. Our parents had always celebrated our birthday on the 12th. Why would they lie? About the date? The confrontation. We went back to the living room. My mom was gone. My dad was sitting on the porch, staring out at the woods. "Dad, what happened at the hospital?" Leo asked, his voice shaking. My dad took a deep breath. "Your mother couldn't have children. We tried for years. Then she went away for a rest at a private clinic. She came back 9 months later with 2 babies. She told everyone they were twins. She told me they were twins. But if we aren't twins, who is he?" I asked, gesturing to Leo. My dad looked at Leo with a mixture of love and fear. "The DNA test didn't just show a mutation in you, son. It showed that you're 100% human. But the lab tech I spoke to privately, he said Leo's DNA, it's not showing a mutation. It's showing sequences they couldn't identify." The vanishing. Just then, a car pulled out of the driveway at high speed. It was my mom. She didn't take a suitcase. She didn't say goodbye. We went to her home office, searching for anything. In the back of a locked desk drawer, we found a single Polaroid. It was a picture of my mom in a hospital gown holding 1 baby, me. Next to her was a woman who looked exactly like her, holding another baby. On the back, it said, "The Original and the Echo, Project Gemini, 1998. Subscribe for Part 3. Part 3, The Echo of 1998. My mother didn't just leave. She escaped. As her taillights faded, I found the false bottom in her desk. Inside wasn't a baby book, it was a ledger, and clipped to the first page was a Polaroid from June 1998. It showed my mother in a hospital bed, looking exhausted, holding me. But standing in the shadows behind her was a woman who looked exactly like her, holding an identical infant. I flipped the photo over. The handwriting was frantic, digging into the paper. "The Original and the Echo, Project Gemini, 1998. Trial 14. Success." My heart hammered against my ribs. I wasn't just a twin, I was the control group. And Leo, he wasn't my brother. He was the result. I looked up at Leo. He was standing by the window, but he wasn't looking out. He was looking at his own reflection in the glass, tilting his head at an angle that should have been impossible. "The DNA company was right," he whispered. His voice didn't sound like mine anymore. It sounded like a recording of me played backward. "I don't have a mutation. I have an upgrade." The ledger detailed everything. My mother was a surrogate for a tech conglomerate that vanished in the early 2000s. They weren't trying to make humans. They were trying to perfect them. I looked at the stats. My growth was linear. Leo's? His cells regenerated every 3 hours. He was resetting. Suddenly, every electronic device in the house shrieked with static. He wasn't aging. Leo turned to me, his pupils expanding until his eyes were solid black voids. "They're outside, brother," he said, but he wasn't scared. He was smiling. "They aren't here to take me back. They're here to see if the original is still necessary. Thanks for watching."